Hey, what's up everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Anthony, this is the Silver Screen Analysis, and today we finally get to talk about Sicario, Day of the Soldado. This is my most anticipated movie of the summer, so did it deliver on my expectations? Let's dive into it. Day of the Soldado is the sequel to 2015's Sicario, which honestly was a film that blew way past my expectations. Crime dramas and action thrillers, I guess you could say, are my favorite genres. I think I've seen them all, so when the first movie came out and delivered top-notch performances, direction, scoring, and writing, I didn't necessarily want a sequel. Then, inevitably, one was announced with Denis Villeneuve not returning. Neither was Emily Blunt or cinematographer Roger Deakins. The late Johansson, who delivered a world-class score in the first movie that was Oscar-nominated, also did not come back for this project before his unfortunate passing. But Taylor Sheridan was back. This was his script. Josh Brolin and Benicio del Toro were in as well, and with that, so was I, and hoping this would be a great next chapter in this small franchise. I think there were honestly some missing pieces from that original Sicario recipe, but I think with Day of the Soldado, some new appealing ingredients are added to really result in a tension-filled narrative. I thought it was a great movie. I don't think it was better than the first, but I can say it's a great sequel because I really felt it did what great sequels are supposed to do. It advances the characters, it maintains that same tone of foreboding intensity with many of its build-ups, but it does so without feeling overly derivative. And it doesn't simply rely on rehashing tropes that worked in the first story. The plot takes things to new levels, which opens the door to a wide range of different dynamics than what we saw in the first story. We get to see our two main characters further along in life. They are the same in many ways, but we know much more about them and their relationship now after seeing the first movie. And in this one, we get to see some different sides to their personalities that show there was some effort in trying to create growth in them from a writing aspect, and I really felt it was bolstered by some great performances by Del Toro and Brolin. Once again, their chemistry is very simple, but it comes off realistic once again, and with little dialogue between them, you still can capture that sense of just a much larger history between them. I also thought young Isabella Moner was fantastic in this role as the cartel boss's daughter. I thought she felt very natural in this role. She knew her father's line of work, she knew the consequences to the actions that came along with that work, and I really enjoyed her level of awareness that the script gave the character. I thought this allowed Moner to still be a kid, but at the same time grasp the ramifications of many situations, which really did allow the emotion in her performance to shine in many scenes, and those were emotional beats that I felt Moner delivered with a genuine intensity that really did make it much easier to connect with her in the journey throughout this story. The story has a slow building progression like the first one, and while the main plot may not have been as riveting as it was with Emily Blunt's character venturing into dark government waters, I still thought it was compelling enough though to get pulled into and want to know what happens. The plot may not have been as deeply woven as the first, and it does follow some familiar genre tropes, but where it lacks weight as a focal plot, I felt it really did work perfectly to create that line in the sand between Brolin and Del Toro's characters that I think overall the splashes of action and the doses of government agendas really was the focal point of this movie overall. But the moments of action in the story were very well timed, and they definitely hit with a strong intensity. I thought the direction was very well done by Stefano Sollima. I don't think it was as polished as the first film was, but it definitely did feel like a movie that was set in the same world from an artistic eye and through just the visual aspects as a whole, with a lot of similar camera techniques and methodical approaches to scene openings and the use of aerial shots. The storyline lays out some very interesting moral dilemmas that I felt were intriguing to wrap my head around. It puts you in the place of the characters very effectively to make you wonder what you would do in their position, which was extremely compelling because you can feel the complete weight of some of the consequences those decisions can result in. You can feel what's at stake, and it makes for a very engaging movie that tells you so much between the moments of dialogue. And overall, I'm gonna have to give Sicario Day of the Soldado 90% on the entertainment meter. It's a little flashier in the action department, but it still works. The characters are what propels the scenes from one to the next with a very intriguing pace, and I definitely recommend checking this one out if you enjoyed the first one. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up button, share it with your friends, leave a comment. I love to hear from you guys. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can be alerted when all the new videos pop up. All my social media links are going to be down in the description below. You can also visit the Silver Screen Analysis for a wide range of movie related content, and here's some links to some recent reviews just in case you missed them.